Good morning, everyone. I had to give you some cricket action in the beginning. Today is Saturday, October 5th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, Tesley, Cony, NVDY, Misty, Amzy. But guess what? Since it's Saturday, we will try this again. Last Saturday, we tried to get 1,000 likes before the Monday recap. We got up to 800 something, and then I'm checking 1 week later, we're at 897. So even after a week, we didn't get 1,000 likes. However, it's kind of expected because people only watch this video throughout the weekend. So that being said, we will try again. And today's goal, I guess this cricket is going to be in the background the whole video, but today's goal is 1,000 likes before the Monday recap. So if you enjoy this content, please take a moment. I will wait, and then you can hit the thumbs up, the like, whatever you want to call it. Why? Well, it helps the channel. That's why. Plus, it's a goal, right? 1,000 likes. We strive for goals, and that's one of the goals for this channel, to hit 1,000 likes for a Saturday video. I think it's doable. Seems doable. Why not, right? Anyway, I would appreciate it if you could, only if you like the video, of course. If you don't like it, then don't hit it. All right, so what happened yesterday? Trade-wise, right? Trade-wise. We have NVDY, we have Cony. Of course, Cony. What? God forbid Cony go through a day without a trade. But, no notations, so we'll keep it pretty simple. NVIDIA's trades were kind of out of whack, out of order. Typically, they're in order of, what they're closing for the week prior and then what they're opening for the next week. So, those first four lines were all out of order, which was annoying, to be honest. It didn't help that they actually, they were closing 10-11s to open 10-11s. But whatever else, we'll show you on the spreadsheet. It'll be just fine. And then obviously, more closure towards the bottom, and then open new positions on the, the bottom too. So anyway, let's cover NVIDIA first. So here we go. Here we go. All right, so that was like a UFC intro with what's his name, Mike Goldberg. All right, so what do we got? We got 90,640 contracts hanging out. Synthetic 119. What's it doing? Nothing, just hanging out. We are 4.97% above that, so we are good. Next earnings date is 11/26. This expires 11/15 though, so again, nothing to even talk about there. How did NVIDIA do yesterday? All right, NVIDIA, how you doing? You went up 1.73%. NVIDIA went up 1.16%. Okay, I guess we will accept that. Now let's look at the trades, okay? How did we do? Zoom out. Damn, this cricket got some bass. This is Roddy, by the way. Hello, Roddy. He's happy he got a name, so I think he's just going to hang out with us forever. Roddy the cricket. All right, so here we got the good zoom. All right, so at the top, 43,820 contracts, 123 strike price. We paid 161 to close out that position. Okay, so that was a successful win. We made a penny on the call credit spread. So if you go to the right, we have a win. We made 1.2 mil, and a loss, unfortunately. In the end, we actually paid 2.8 mil. So the call credit spread, unfortunately, costed more than the profit we made on the sold call. This is not, in a position you want to be in. However, this is exactly what happened. So yes, we did win the call, the 123 sold call, but the cost for the call credit spread exceeded the win amount of that call, if that makes sense. So that's an example where a call credit spread did no good. All right, let's move on to the next one. 1,400 contracts, 123. Oh, yeah, it's the same freaking, same strikes. So same situation here. They made, oh no, that one actually, they lost. So yeah, the 161 exceeded. They only got 104 when they opened that one. That's why. Okay, wow, this is a double whammy. So two losses on that. They lost on the sold call, and they lost on the synthetic. The call credit spread. All right, so moving on to, actually, let's get rid of those two. Actually, no, let's keep it because I want to show you some. All right, 43,820 contracts. This is the last one they closed. They paid, man, $6 per share to close the 120. Very damaging. But they did make 331 on the call credit spread, okay? So that, it helped with the damage, which is good. Let's look at the numbers, though. So they lost 14 mil on the sold call. They had to cover the cash settlement, close out that position. But the call credit spread, helped avoid, the damage. So they made 8.5 mil for that. So in the end, they only lost, 6 mil. If you want to say that's a good thing, then it is, I guess. However, all in all, they lost money, right? So if you highlight all these numbers, what do we say? They lost 6 mil, and then at the top, they lost another 1.6. So 7.6 mil. 4 losses, 2 wins. But in the end, for the week, it's not good, right? Again, we try to sell weekly calls. We try to win. That's the whole freaking point of doing options. We try to make money. We did not make money. These credit call spreads, kind of screwed us, so it's not going to work out every week. That's true. And that's shown here. But the question is, could they have done anything differently to put us in a better position? We don't know, right? We can go back and talk about it all day, but we got to move on, unfortunately. All right. They left the 123. That's 1.54% in the money for next week. So we don't have to talk about that. Let's talk about the new trades. All right. 43,820 contracts. They chose a 127 strike. All right. But same thing on the bottom. Another 45,220 contracts. Why are you choosing the same freaking strikes on both? I mean, do you not learn from last week? I don't get it. All right, so they sold a call at 127 strike, and they bought a call, credit call spread, 131. All right, so what did it yield? Annualized yield, 78%. Subtract out the 28, it's basically a 50% yield. Their IV is 46%. So that part makes sense, but are we okay with them being 1% out of the money on the sold call and 4% out of the money on the call credit spread? Personally, I would much rather they chose different strikes, even one without a call credit spread. I'd be fine with that too, but just change things up. Leave some room so it's not a complete loss if they get stuck in a bad spot. Outstanding shares did not change. Okay, so here's the recap. 30-day IV, 46%. Outstanding shares, 46,025,000. Total net income is a loss. Damn, this cricket has been going the whole time. So for the people that hate crickets, they're going to be pissed off today. All right, so that's a loss. They're still losing money. So what can you say? So people at work at YieldMax, they're joking around with the other guy at the NVDY fund manager, and they're sending him, alert messages on his computer that say, "You suck." And, does he deserve it? Maybe, because he kind of put us in a tough spot. And he did know better for next week. So I don't like the spot for next week. All right, but the good news is declaration is approaching for NVIDIA, and their price has still gone up. NVIDIA, has been doing well, so NVIDIA's doing pretty decent, regardless of how much they're losing on the weeklies. But so Group B will declare in 4 days on October 9th. Payment information, what we got? We got synthetic income, 18 mil. However, short call loss, 41 mil. So for the month, the numbers are the numbers. They lost money, all right? 9 wins, 11 losses. I mean, they sucked this month. They sucked. There's no way around it. They sucked. NVIDIA's the GOAT, they're not acting like the GOAT. I may have to not call them that anymore. Their IV is 46%. Based on that, we're looking at 95 cents. However, my estimate is going to be more than that. I'm definitely going over $1. So I'll get that video out, the guesstimate video for Group B, of course, this weekend. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but that's, YieldMax I'm definitely not doing. These, it's kind of not, it's just a smaller group, so it's not all that bad. So I think I'm going to try to keep it up. All right, so what do we got? We got the holdings. We got the synthetic. The synthetic expires November 15th. The synthetic is dominating, all right? They haven't used it. They haven't, well, in their mind, they haven't needed to, but they haven't earned any income this month. So they probably should have, honestly. But overall, we look at the money, though. They got a synthetic bailout of 59 mil. So they could have cashed out, made some money. But would that even help? Let's see how much they're down. They're down 22 mil. So yeah, that would have helped. But I guess at this point, since their NAV it's at 24, so it's like, whatever. We can afford to pay $1 something, and we'll still be well above 20. So maybe that's the idea, what they're thinking. All right. Anyway, the total net assets total 1.1 bill. The NAV 24.42. Trade price 24.45. All right. So that's the update on NVDY. Sorry, couldn't think. All right, so that's NVDY. Let's move on. Cony, skip over for now. Let's look at MSTY. Again, more crap out of order. So we'll just have to go to row 2, row 3. But BC, buy to close, right? Close the call. And then they sold their credit call spread. So the BC'd paid 85 cents. And they made a massive penny on the credit call spread. However, who cares about that? Because they actually won their weeklies. And then they sold a call into next week, 182.50, and they made 434. So let's take a look at the numbers. Yes, we see you, Roddy. We know you're here, and we're your friend. All right, so synthetic 160. It's waiting. 10.32% above the strike price. Man, cash this sucker out. 14 days till expiration, so they will be cashing that sucker out soon. How did MSTR do yesterday? MSTR said, I am the man. I am the ruler of the world. Sorry for all these wrestling references lately, but I'm just having a little fun. Yeah, MSTR went up 8%. MSTY almost went up 7%. So you know what? That's pretty good. I'll give it to them. However, you'll see why in a second that they did go up. Which kind of screws us for next week. Zoom out. Yes, Roddy, we know you're there. All right, here we go. They had 33,490 contracts. They had a 175. And guess what? They closed, what the hell did they close at? They closed at 176. So they closed this one out, I think, earlier in the day. All right, and I'll tell you why I think that in a second. They closed it out earlier in the day, and they paid 85 cents. No brainer. They made 447. So this is a massive win. I know. They paid $1.68 in the call credit spread, and they did not use it in the end. That kind of ate into the profits. But if we scroll to the right, they still profited about $7 million. They won $7 million. Okay. So this is the beauty, right? This is the beauty. They're making $7 million on top of whatever they're making on the synthetic. So this is what I like to see. This is what we want. This is what we need. These funds need to do this. Make freaking money. Don't lose freaking money. But yeah, good job, Misty. Good job. All right. Now, let's look at this one. So the expiration date for obviously next week is 10/11. So they have all eggs in one basket. All right, so that's one thing. 33,490 contracts, 182.50. Look at this, 3.39% out of the money. Like, what? Say what? Aggressive yield, annualized yield, 128%. Like, a little unnecessary. I think they opened this earlier in the day. It was probably further out of the money. Okay, and that's how they were actually able to recoup some of that upside. So unfortunately, we recouped some of that upside already. So for 5 trading days, we have to be okay with 3.39% out of the money with no credit call spread, right? Now, how do you feel about that? I don't know, man. Crypto has been going up. So this is very, very dangerous. And I did talk about this yesterday because I mentioned the synthetic is so valuable that they could go tight and they could still be bailed out. But we want to, they could have, looking at the yield, they still could have gone higher than what they did. But hey, man, it is what it is. But let me know your thoughts on this trade in particular. There's a lot of Misty shareholders, and I'm curious what people think. But if this is like crypto's going nuts lately, should they have done at least maybe scattered 2 different strikes, maybe 3 strikes, maybe 2 strikes, one with a credit call spread, one without? This is just freaking laziness, right? 1 strike, that's it. That's all you got? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I could just... Anyway, what do we got? Outstanding shares, nothing. Well, yeah, nothing. All right, so here's the recap. 30-day IV, 86%. Outstanding shares, 22,425,000. Total net income is a loss of 35 mil. Okay, fine. And guess what? Guess what time it is? Woo! It's flare chop time. Why? Because we flare chopped the shit out of those freaking, those calls. We won. I know them. We're kind of aggravated at the new position, but we got to flare chop someone, because we're happy. We made money. So again, I had to keep Ric Flair. I saw, I put Ric Flair up yesterday, so keep on that mode and put Ric Flair up again, because I had to, we had to flare chop someone because we're way too excited because we won. Someone's winning trades at least, right? We'll see how next week goes though. All right, Group D declares in 18 days. Obviously, Misty is part of Group D. They declare on 10/23. So let's move on to the payment detail. They have synthetic income of 68 mil. Their short call income, this is the weekly calls, they lost 35 mil. So that's a total net income of $32 million for the month of September. Again, this is taxable income. Total income per share, that's $1.47. Yeah, they got time though. 11 wins, 8 losses. If we look at that, $1.47 versus their IV payment, that's looking like $1.90. So that could be the range of the payment. Again, the last payment was $1.85. I would not be surprised if we get a payment over $2 though. All right, so if we look at, again, they still have time, so we don't have to talk about their estimate. But man, they're synthetic, man. It's going to cash out. It's going to be noise. Looking like 55 mil on the synthetic bailout money. Again, the weeklies for next week. We can't really talk about it, so it's only, if you deduct 16 mil. But again, they could have cashed out, right? They're saving it. They are saving it, which is smart because they don't have to use it, right? They don't have to use it right now because they actually do have income, right? NVDY doesn't have income. They do have income, If they're trying to proportion out the income per month, then it would make sense for NVIDIA to cash out. For Misty, they don't have to, right? If they cash this out, 55 mil, man, what would this payment look like? Because right now, based on 32 mil, we're showing $1.47. 50. Whew. Yeah, they're paying over $2 looking at that now. Now I'm thinking about it. Unless crypto tanks, of course, and then Misty tanks, that could happen. But man, oh man. All right, so total net assets, 592 mil. The NAV, look at that, freaking 26.42, trade price 26.39. I'm not going to lie. I have that dividend car account, man. I own a lot of Misty. And boy, oh boy, do I want to sell and take a profit. I got over $4,000 in profits on paper. And I am just very, very tempted to sell. And I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't because that's not the strategy. But what I could do, here's, again, just a thought. I could just sell, take the profit, and then buy in as it dips. Buy in whatever I need to cover the dividend car expense, right? That's just a thought. I know some people say buy and hold, but again, you're leaving a lot of profit on the table because crypto, it could tank, right? And we're essentially capped at 3%. So let's just say we get that 3% next week right up front. Maybe that's an opportunity. I don't know. Again, I've been thinking about this. I should stop probably, but who knows? Anyway, that's Misty. Got to cover Tesley. Tesley had no trades, so nice and easy. They have a synthetic 245 and a synthetic 255 expiring on 11/15. We'll leave that alone. and we'll talk about that later. They have an October tab because they declared. And what happened yesterday? Tesla, shocker, went up. You know, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. It went up 3.91%. Good Lord, that's good. Tesley went up 3.58%. That's also good. Really good stuff. But how much did it eat up, right? How much did it eat up for next week? We have 29,000, just for next week, 29,148 contracts, 270 strike price. Look at that. Still 7.97% out of the money. 1,315 contracts, 272.50, 8.97% out of the money. So honestly, Tesley is still in a good spot after that massive gain, because as you know, they took a massive hit the day before. So was it a wash? Let's see. Well, again, you have to ignore ex-dividend date. So it was kind of a wash, but either way, Tesley's in a good spot, so that's good. Outstanding shares did go up by 300K. Here's the recap. 30-day IV, 66%. Outstanding shares, 55.7 million. Total net income, yes, they have income so far, 14.1 mil. That's a distribution of 25 cents, a daily income of 8 cents a day, a daily yield of 0.66%, an annualized yield of 242%. So if we go to this daily income, you know, basically what it takes is Q1, right? Q1, which is the total distribution per share that they have made, and you divide it by the number of days that we are into the month, which is only 3, right? Again, but so they did a weekly trade. This is a trade that is for a period of 7 days or more, right? So if you take that premium and you divide it by only 3 days, that is why we're showing a massive daily income. But again, this will true up in due time. Tesley fund manager, man, he had nothing to do. No trades. They did their trades. So he went out early. He said, I'm going to happy hour, guys. He took a half day. He got show wasted. Who knows where he is right now? He could be in the streets, sleeping out, you know, someone's front yard naked. But hopefully he had a good time because we need him for next week. Group A, they just declared last week. They just paid last week. So they got time. They got a 25-day break until they declare on 10/30. All right, October. No synthetic income. They have weekly income of 14 mil. What does that come to? 25 cents. We know that. Okay, like I said, the Rodometer is a little, you know, it doesn't work until you have like a full weekend. So let's just pretend, all right, 236, 223% yield. You never know, man. That could happen on one of these funds. It almost happened on Misty, I think, in the beginning. So if you look at the IV, though, 67% IV, that's a 71-cent yield. I mean, a 71-cent payment. That's a little more realistic. Yeah, man. They used to... Roddy the Cricket, he used to get quiet when I talked. Now he knows we're friends, and he's part of the video, so he's trying to do his part, you know? I never have really, like, the quality sound effects in the background, but, you know, now I have a cricket. How many YouTubers can say they have a cricket going in the background the whole time? Not many. All right, so what do we got? For holdings, we got a put, we got a call. Do we have to talk about it? No, we do not. But we can look at the weekly for next week. Yeah, okay. Again, we talked about that. So anyway, let's just look at the total net assets, 707 mil. The NAV is 1271 and the trade price is 1272. Okay, great. Now what? Now we move on to our two best friends, Cony and Amzy. Hi, Cony. How are you today? All right, let's go back to the photos and we go here. There it is, Cony. Cony, what the heck did you do? A BC, buy to close. So they had a 10-4 contract expiring. That's why they had a trade. Okay, I'll give it a break. 1,000 contracts. What the heck did they pay? 211. That seems expensive. Now they sold their call credit spreads. 175 strike. They made a massive 6 cents. So that tells me that did not help. And then they sold the call into next week. 180 strike price. They got 255 per share credit. 10/11 expiration. So let's look at the holdings and see if we can interpret this into something that makes sense. How did Coin do yesterday? Coin went up 4.57%. Cony went up 3.65%. Is that annoying? Probably. By the way, I added earnings. I remembered earnings. Their next earnings date is 11/7. It's very scary. Coin earnings always very scary. All right, so what do we got? We got a whole bunch of crap here. Their synthetic expires on 12/20. So guess what? Who cares? We won't talk about it. Now, we will talk about what it looks like for next week. So let's zoom out a little. Here we go. Yeah, perfect. All right, 11,825 contracts, 175 strike, 2.39% out of the money. 17,705 contracts, 177.50 strike price, 3.86% out of the money. 8,220 contracts, 180 strike price, 5.32% out of the money. I mean, we can't complain. They are scattered. That's a really good thing. How far out of the money are they? That they did have an up day, so, but regardless, they are scattered. And pretty evenly, to be honest. And they do have credit call spreads, bear call credit spreads. Whatever we're calling them nowadays, they have them. How far out of the money? They're 11% to 12% to 14% out of the money. So they're pretty high up there, but they are there for protection. They are the security guards. They are their best friends. They are their butt buddies. They are their support. They are there if they need them. Will they need them? I don't know. And it's just, it's going to get interesting. But again, they have scattered strikes, so I like it. I like where they're at on Cony. Do I own Cony? Yes, I do. Why? Because I always said I'm going to buy them at a discount, sell them when they're really high. Right now, I've been buying on discounts for about a month and a half, 2 months now. Discount just keeps going. It is what it is. Coin is coin. Coin is untouchable right now, right? Until these big brokerages put them out of business. But for now, they are the monopoly in the U.S. for crypto. At least that's that's how I think about it. I've used crypto. I just took a break for a while. But that's the platform is Coinbase. Binance is shit. They're getting sued left. They always get freaking sued. I do like Binance platform, believe me, but Coinbase is much smoother for beginners. Anyway, let's move on. Look at the synthetic bailout. Yeah, it's looking pretty good compared to the weekly. So 29 mil. 30-day IV, 74%. That's pretty good. IV estimate, 80 cents. Group C, so they're declared not next week, the week after on 10/16. Total net assets of Cony, 640 mil. The NAV is 1288, trade price 1288, right on the money. So not bad. So we'll see how Cony plays next week. I know a lot of Cony investors are worried, but what do you want, man? It's crypto. They tank, right? They tank. Misty's doing better, but Misty has much higher IV, so they're allowed to go a little further out of the money and capture, the upside and not get capped as much. Amazon went up 2.44%. Amzy went up 2.01%, so pretty good day. They have earnings this month, October 24th, so look out for that. All right, they have a synthetic 185, no gold diggers in sight, just, this cheap-ass dates, which is good. We like cheap-ass dates. They got their weeklies. They got a 195. Let's see how that's looking for next week. They're 190. Yeah, they got a 190. Sold call, 1.87% on the money. A little tight, but for Amazon, maybe not so much. Call credit spread, what they got, 4.55% out. We'll see how it goes, man. But Amzy done pretty good, man. Done pretty good. They're not, what are they at now? They're at, what's the price? 1943. That's pretty good. I'd like it to get back up to 20, though. All right, synthetic bailout. Do we need it? Not yet. 30-day IV, 37%. IV estimate, 61 cents. Group D is the last to declare, and they declare 1023. So they'll do that with Amzy. I'm sorry, with Misty. Market value, net assets under management. The NAV is 19. The total net assets 176 mil. The NAV is 1940, and the trade price is 1943. All right, so that's the update for freaking Amzy, for freaking Cony, Tesley, NVDY, and Misty. No pre-market because it's Saturday, so I don't go through that jazz, which means I'm not going to go through my options. And the reason for that is it's Saturday, so I do my entire options, video later on today. So tune in for that. And also back to the 1,000. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes today. That's a goal of mine for my Saturday video. Again, we have today, which is Saturday. We have tomorrow, which is Sunday. And then we'll wake up Monday morning and we will check and we will see 1,000 likes, because there's 1,000 people that like this content. I know it's hard to believe, but there is. We just got to find them, right? We got to start recruiting on the streets. Like, have you listened to this video? And then you send them the link. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, clearly. This video is for fun and entertainment, so I hope you had fun. I hope you were entertained. If not, I will try again on the Monday recap, all right? I will do my damnedest. And outside of that, I really got nothing, man. I got nothing, but it's the weekend, finally. Oh my God. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We do need to talk about keyword though. I mean, we can't not talk about Roddy, right? Roddy has to be the keyword. Roddy the cricket. So he's a new star. He's a new star of the video. I'm going to have to make him more noticeable in the thumbnail because he was clearly the star of today's show. So today's keyword, if you made it through the entire video, if you suffered that long, then you need to type the keyword to get credit for it. And today's keyword is Roddy the cricket. It's R-O-D-Y, not R-O-D-D-Y. It's R-O-D-Y. Why is it R-O-D-Y? Because that's the ticker as well, right? So whenever we have the Roddy ETF, which is the Retire on Dividends Yield ETF, that, the logo will be a cricket. I don't know. That'll be awesome. Anyway, so that's the keyword, Roddy the cricket, or Roddy, or whatever the hell you want to say, or type whatever you want. I don't care at this point. All right, guys. I just want to say, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. You're awesome. Believe me, I do appreciate it. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns in the comments about the content, how it could be better, how it could be worse, how it could be this and that and the other thing. And lastly, of course, I'll try to get an options video out today. I'll try to get a round hill video out today. I'll try to get an estimate video out tomorrow. And of course, I'll probably do maybe one more Defiance update. And then the next week, I'll do a Defiance round hill combination video going forward. All right. So that's the update. Oh, also, I completely forgot. I have an interview on Monday. Keep that in mind as well. All right. That's all I got for today. Thank you guys for watching and have a great weekend. Later.